Mario and Luigi Brothership. Let's talk about it, because there's been a lot of controversy, and a lot of people don't really like it, apparently. IGN gave it a solid 5 out of 10, which is a banger for their scale. But you know what? Are people overreacting? Is it really as bad as everyone says? Here are my first impressions to answer all of those questions. I'm about 6 hours in, and I just want to talk about this game because, honestly, I ended up really liking it. Let's talk about the IGN thing first. They give it a 5 out of 10, mostly on some interesting criticisms, which do have a bit of merit. Number one, they were pretty upset about the fact that Luigi is not mapped to B anymore in the selecting phase. So when you're going through this game, you're selecting, moves for Mario with A, but you've always been selecting moves for Luigi with B, and people were annoyed that they have decided to, map that also to A, and it just feels a little disconnected. A valid complaint, to be fair, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. However, I think you should probably take what I'm saying right now with a grain of salt, because I haven't played too many other Mario and Luigi games. This is, probably the first one I'll end up beating. I've played all the other ones for the most part. Actually, I haven't played Bowser's Inside Story, but I've played a lot of them, and I think they're great. I love the art style. I haven't had the time to sit down and beat any of them, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. It's not as big of a deal as a lot of people are making it out to be, in my opinion. And the negativity around this game is honestly shocking to me, because after playing it and experiencing a lot of it, it's pretty decent. Another point of contention with this game is the performance. It's like Echoes of Wisdom. The Switch is not performing at its optimal level because it is hardware-wise 10 years old, 12 years old. It's an old console, man. We're pumping out these games that look pretty good, but yeah, they're not going to perform that great. I don't know. I think it's just a thing that I've accepted because I've always been a Nintendo gamer, and I've never really noticed performance too much. So, again, take what I'm saying here with a grain of salt, because if performance really affects how you enjoy a game, maybe not, but I haven't really noticed too many frame rate stutters and things like that in the overworld or anything. The one thing performance-wise I do really notice is the load screens. The load screens in and out of battles can be pretty frustrating at times, and I completely agree on that criticism. It's a little too long, and it's a little noticeable. I already don't really like when RPGs do that, and you're just, sent to this whole new scene. I don't know what it is. It just kind of pisses me off, because it's why does it feel so disconnected, I guess, is my vibe. And I get that's just sort of what RPGs do, a lot of them, and that's not a problem. Honestly, it's more of a me problem that I get annoyed by it, but the snappier it can be in and out of battles is the better for me. And so things like Super Mario RPG towed this line of being really snappy in and out of battles, and it's something I super enjoyed about that game. And this one, the load screens are just a little bit long, so I can see how that would be annoying over time, for sure, absolutely. But on to my original thoughts and opinions about this game. Based on nothing else, I want to say that I've been having a pretty good time with it. I'm about 6 hours into the game. These are just obviously my first impressions. It's not a full review of it, so if my opinion could very well change, is all I'm saying. But 6 hours in, I'm having a pretty decent time. I'm pretty addicted to this game as well. I constantly find myself wanting to go back, wanting to play more, wanting to explore these areas more than I already have, and all that kind of stuff. So that, to me, is a sign of a pretty good game, especially for an RPG, because I don't really like RPGs very much. I'm very selective with my RPGs, and for some reason, this one has been really, doing some cool shit, and I'm a big fan. The gameplay is about what you expect from a Mario and Luigi game. There's a bunch of different moves that they have. You can stomp on enemies' heads, you can hit them with your hammer, you're pressing A and B for all of that. They have these little brother moves, which are pretty cool, and they work very well. I think the battling is really, really well done here, and the animations and stuff in between are super awesome with this game. My favorite part of this game, bar none, is absolutely those animations. They are done so damn well, and they just bring a lot of life to these characters, which, by the way, I think the art style for the characters, the backgrounds and the side characters, I think are good, but Mario and Luigi, I don't like the way they're designed. Maybe it's that line. I think it's the fact that the lining, the black line that goes all the way around the outline. Wow, that was a lot for me to explain an outline. The outline that goes around them is too thin at points. Like, I think it looks pretty nice when it's a little bit thicker, but sometimes when it's like way zoomed out, the outline is so damn thin and it just looks like shit to me. I don't know. I think it might be a personal problem as well. But back to gameplay, it's good. It's fun. You're running around these big areas searching for something that somebody sent you on a mission for. You're puzzling and platforming your way across. There's quite a bit of platforming here, which I actually pretty much love because I'm a big platformer person, more so than an RPG person, so I don't find any fault in that at all. But then in between there, you're getting in battles with different enemies and things like that, and it's good. I mean, it's Mario and Luigi gameplay, I think, pretty much to a T. It's really fun, easy, light gameplay that isn't something you really have to think about too much. You're either pressing A or B and selecting, the type of move that you want to do. You think about enemy types and how your matchups go and things like that, which is great. But other than that, it's not this like ultra complicated RPG system, which I love because the complicated RPG systems is what gets me to put those games down pretty much immediately. But yeah, when you're going through these worlds and you're doing things, you're constantly leveling up as well. And I think the leveling up system is done very, very well. You get these little flags, and every time you beat an enemy or do something important in the game, it goes up a little bit, and it works great. It makes you feel like every battle matters and everything has a little bit of weight to it, because something that really pisses me off in bigger RPGs, like the 80-hour epics and things like that, you're doing all this shit and it feels like you make no progress after a couple of hours. And it's like, here I'm sitting after an hour, I've leveled up 3 times. Like, I'm level 10 right now and I've been playing for 6 hours. So it's just, wow. I guess that's not as much as I thought when I say it out loud. But it's like, you are constantly getting levels. You're constantly making progress to get over there. You're also getting money from all of these battles, which you can go and buy different gear for, like better boots and better hammers and stuff and gear that's going to keep you protected or give more damage. Very, very RPG adjacent with, the gear system and stuff like that, but it's simple, it's easy to understand, and it works well. And that's really all I need from my RPG systems. I need them to be understandable, I need them to work every fucking time, and I need them to just be able, I need to be able to logic it out. Like, it should make sense in my head, where it's not like I have to read this whole thing. Xenoblade, I'm talking to you. Great games, great world designs, great characters, God damn, those get exhausting to learn. So exhausting to learn. We briefly touched on the art style as well, but it's got this new type of art style, which, it used to be this pixel art type vibe, which I would love if they would just keep that. I want to see Nintendo do some pixel art, because that is, the pixel art is so good. It ages so well. It's like you go back and you play these Game Boy games or the Game Boy Advance games, and somehow they look better than, the 3DS games and the DS games, and it's just because that art style was so damn smart, and I wish every damn day that we could go back to that type of art style for Nintendo games sometimes. Tell me the next 2D Mario wouldn't look great as a pixel art type vibe. Or the next Mario and Luigi. I don't know. I just feel I like that they did something different, and it's not just this plastic toy-like art style that they like to do with Mario, but pixel art would have fucking slayed here. The backgrounds look very nice, parts of it do look very nice, and the animations, like I said, are probably the best parts of this game. They bring a lot of character to these characters, and a lot to the world, I would say. Luigi's a little goofball in this game, and he's just has all these ideas, and then these ideas sort of turn into mechanics, so it's just it's a super weird thing, because he's like, I don't know, and then he's like, oh shit, I got an idea, holy shit, I'm fucking struck with some inspiration, and then he drops the weirdest inspiration on you, and it works super well. Like when you're fighting boss battles and stuff, when he did that the first time, I thought it was super funny, and then he's trying to squeeze through this little hole in the gate, and it's the funniest thing, because you're mashing B so he can get through it, and he's just fucking struggling to push himself, his big ass belly through this thing. There's a lot of character here, there's a lot of fun here, and I saw a lot of criticisms about the story. The story isn't as good as we usually have. I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. It's just kind of like a stupid little Mario story. So you have this one main boat, and it's all these islands are so disconnected. How do we connect them? Plugs. Literally outlets and plugs. You plug shit in. You're plugging all the islands into the big island, and then you save it. Like, that's what you're doing. And all the little people and NPCs walking around, what are they, chat? Outlets and plugs, which is super funny. And it works out great. Oh, whoa. I wonder if the boys, I think, oh, wait, no. That was a total revelation, and then it's not true. I was like, I wonder if the girls are all plugs and the boys are outlets, or vice versa. But I'm realizing there's a lot, like, in between there as well. Interesting. They could have made an androgynous character that was, like, one outlet thingy and then one plug. That would have been cool. Anyways, I mean, it works, and it makes a lot of sense for what Mario is, and it fits tonally with it. The game as a whole, can it handhold you a little bit? Yeah. Is the pacing a little off sometimes? Sometimes, yeah, I would say, and I'm a little worried about the next, 30 hours of this game, because it's supposed to be like a 35-hour game, so I've barely scratched the surface of it. I would say I'm a solid like 1/5 of the way through currently, especially as it looks to be on the islands that I'm exploring currently. But I don't know, I'm already sort of noticing some weird pacing where you're thrown back to the overworld like every time, and then you like have to wait a little bit because there's this boat mechanic and you want to like shoot yourself out of the cannon at the right time. There's some weird pacing stuff, I'm sure. And I'm sure I'm gonna, stumble upon it at some point, but I don't think that's anything that's ever been out of the norm for the Mario and Luigi series. It's a Mario and Luigi RPG. It's gonna be easier and more hand-holdy than most RPGs out there, and it absolutely is. I mean, I've had a boss battle at this point. I've had 2 boss battles, and they were super simple, super easy. I didn't have to struggle at all. I didn't even use any items, But it's just like, it's fun, and it's how it is. And hey, honestly, maybe the final boss is really difficult. I had such a hard time with the Super Mario RPG final boss for some reason, so perhaps that's what goes on here. I don't really know. I'm super late for class, so I have to go to class. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, check out this video, Spanger's Vibe. It's a good time. I'll see you over there. More videos and shit. I swear it's coming soon. It's been tough. There's a lot of shit going on with school and life and ish. So hope you guys are doing well out there. I truly appreciate you all.